Welcome to Zoom TV, the show where we explore everything that flies, drives and floats and invite you along for the experience. Normally we would do our best to educate you on things that zoom, but today's program is a little bit different. You see, there's an alarming amount of Australians that go homeless each and every night. So we thought we'd attend the Vinnie's CEO Sleep Out and share my experience from the WACA in Western Australia. What am I in for?
You're in for actually experiencing what some people experience every night, which is sleeping rough.
And I catch up with a Zoomaholic and take a look at his incredible Mustang on this week's Zoom TV Rewind.
It's just one of those classic iconic 60s cars that are still just very popular today.
Plus, I'll tell you what live events you should attend this week, happening all over the country about things that fly, drive and float, and our celebrity hitchhiker will be the highest fundraiser here at the WACA CEO Sleep Out.
From our perspective, it's about two things, raising money and raising awareness.
So get your beanie ready because it's time for the Zoom TV Vinnie's CEO Sleep Out. If I told you that tonight there are 100,000 Australians that are sleeping homeless, you wouldn't believe me, but it's true. I'm now joined by Mark from Vinnie's at the CEO Sleep Out. Mark, thanks for inviting us along.
Thanks for coming.
It's a wet day. I don't have my sleeping bag. What am I in for?
You're in for actually experiencing what some people experience every night, which is sleeping rough. And we're doing it at the WACA tonight, so a piece of cardboard, finding a little place to keep dry because it's supposed to be raining and storming.
I tell you what, we're going to rough it. This is our first year
Yep.
attending the event. The event's been going for how long?
This is our 6th year running it in Perth, and over that time we've had nearly 500 to 700 CEOs who participated.
Wow, and it's happening all over Australia tonight, isn't it?
Yeah, there is. We're joined by probably another 1,000 CEOs who are participating nationwide, and we hope to get about $5 million across the country to fund homeless services.
Which is fantastic. The big thing that the event does is educate people that homelessness exists, which I didn't really see as many homeless people until it was brought to my attention. And then you drive around, you actually see that there's a lot of people out there that are doing it hard.
Yeah, it's one of those things that you don't see unless you're made aware of it by somebody else.
Now, people could assume you're raising money for homeless people, you're not going to fix the problem, but that's not what you in fact do. You help educate and you help rehabilitate and you help those people get back into the community, because sometimes all it is just a little slip, isn't it?
That's right, and homelessness is something that can happen to anybody. And I mean, there's so many people about one paycheck away from losing a house. I think it's over a third of people who are homeless are actually escaping domestic violence and family breakdowns, for example, and a quarter of all those who are homeless are under the age of 18. So that sort of stuff we've got to stop. And what we try and do at Vinnie's is actually create an opportunity for people so they can get out of where they are at the moment and then hopefully get to a point where they can make their lives something that you and I just take for granted. And what we're trying to do here is actually raise awareness around what happens to people who are homeless and the safety issues that sit around it and what they aspire to is normal human beings just like you and me. So tonight we're going to hear some amazing stories from some wonderful people and hopefully we can actually help them escape that homelessness situation that they're in. And
help make Australia a better place for everyone.
That's right. I mean, 100,000 people across the country is a lot of people. And what we want to do is get people to get a slight taste of what it's like for a night. So it's a bit more than, hey, come along and mingle with some people or give us a donation. It's about experiencing it too. So the idea of you're not having a sleeping bag and a pillow, it happens every night, and that's something we also want to stop.
Now, if people are at home going, well, I want to get on board, I want to do something, how do they do that?
There's two ways. I mean, for the Sleep Out, they can get onto ceosleepout.org.au, or if they want to volunteer their time or help out in other ways, they can always contact us at vinnies.org.au.
And if they need help, they can do the same thing?
They can do exactly the same thing.
Thank you very much for having us along.
Thanks for coming along.
And for also keeping me warm tonight. Paul and Dibs on the sleeping bag. Now, if you'd like to help out, make sure you jump on to vinnies.org.au or follow the links from Zoom TV. Do you want to get more out of your diesel? Well, let the team at United Fuel Injection help you. They're the experts in diesel fuel injection, turbocharging and vehicle performance technologies. Make an appointment today and get more torque out of your diesel at unitedfuel.com.au. If you're a fan of the classic Ford Mustang, you're going to love this week's Zoom TV Rewind, and it's coming up next on Zoom TV. So we've come all the way to Parkwood, Western Australia to catch up with Jason and find out a little bit more about his 1966 Mustang. Jace, how are you, bud?
Aaron, how are you?
I'm great. I'm really great standing in front of a car like this. The 1966 Mustang was one of the best years Ford produced it.
Yeah, look, 1966, it's just one of those classic, iconic 60s cars that still just very popular today.
Okay, now, how did you come about it?
Look, we're in the market for another classic car, and this is something the wife has always wanted.
Share the romance you have with this car.
You know, these old cars, they're great to drive. The sound of the V8, just the way they steer and drive is just something special.
Now, I want you to walk me through the car from front to back and just share a little bit more about the car and give us a bit more detail. Can you do that for me?
Yeah, sure.
Well, how about we start at the engine?
Yeah, no worries.
I want to see her. I really do.
But look, this is a little 289 C4 automatic transmission. We've done a little bit of work to the motor just to make it more reliable more than anything else.
Now, one of my favourite things about the car, if you don't mind me, do you mind if I shut the bonnet?
Yeah, sure.
Now, what I want people at home to do is listen to this. That is steel shutting. I love that. There's definitely steel under there.
Yeah, not too much plastic in these cars.
It's not. Now, this is why I'm here. I want to go for a drive. How about we go for a drive?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's go.
Mate, now this is a weird one, getting in on the driver's side. And it's beautiful. Jace, can't wait to see what this is like on the road when we go cruising. Let's get out of here, Jace. Jace, I'm having a ball. I love classic cars. I love what you've done here. I love this car. It's very original. You love classic cars, obviously, and you love this car, but it's more than just a love for one car. You love all classic cars.
Yeah, I'm very much an enthusiast. I just enjoy, you know, those cars from the 50s, 60s, and I love what people do to them and the time and effort that some people put into their cars, and they really are showpieces.
So, Jace, you're not just an owner of a classic car. You actually run a group, a gang of classic car people.
Yeah, look, we run a little monthly event down at Fremantle, just called Custom Cars and Coffee. Our events are free, so once a month you just come down. It's a 2-hour meet and greet. You just pull up into the car park, grab a coffee, and walk around and speak to like-minded people.
So if anyone wants to get involved in your group, how would they do that?
Look, we just run a Facebook page, Custom Cars and Coffee WA.
I'll tell you what, mate, if you shout me a coffee, we might even come to one of your events. What do you reckon?
Oh, yeah, look, I'd love to.
Now, I've got a couple of fast facts I want to talk to you about.
Hit me with them.
Okay, because I'm good, okay? In 1966, Ford actually produced their 1 millionth Mustang. Also in 1966, they produced just over 600,000 Mustangs, primarily the coupe, but they also did the convertible and, of course, the fastback, the very popular fastback.
Fastback was very popular.
And I've got one more fastback for you, which is going to impress you, because this particular vehicle here, you could buy brand new between $2,500 and $3,000.
I wish I would have paid that for it now. They're valued at about 25, 30 grand now.
There you go, you win. Mate, you've been a champion. We really appreciate it. Thanks for sending through your video. And we look forward to catching up when you actually put a bit more, take away the wrinkles, I reckon.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Now, if you'd like to be a Zoomaholic, it's simple. Go to our website. All the conditions are there. Upload a video between 1 and 2 minutes long telling us everything there is to know about anything that you own that flies, drives and floats, and of course, just how much you love it. And then send that link to iamazoomaholic@zoomtv.com.au. And you never know, you could be on the show. If you're passionate about something that flies, drives or floats, there's no better place to share that passion than attending a live event. Thanks to United Fuel Injection, the only place to get more torque out of your diesel, here are our 3 favourite events happening all over Australia as submitted by you. Hidden Valley Raceway in Darwin is the place to be on the 4th of July to celebrate motoring muscle, with plenty of custom machines and events like burnout comps, super skids, cruise the track, drift demos and the ultimate decibel sound off. There's action for everyone, so bring the kids. It kicks off at 9 AM. On the same day, in Picton, New South Wales, it's time to get behind a bit of American pride with street machines, hot rods, classics, cruisers, muscle cars, trucks, bikes, and heaps more. Plus, there's American-style meals available and an outdoor movie for the kids. It starts at 6:30 p.m. Don't forget your chairs or your blankets. Saturday, 4th of July from 4 p.m. And on the Sunshine Coast, you can get behind a great cause, raise some money and check out some great cars and bikes from around Australia at the Muscle on the Mountain Show and Shine. Car clubs are welcome to come and take part and camping is available. This promises to be a really fun day out for the whole family. It all kicks off at 10 a.m. on Sunday the 5th of July at the Mullaney Showgrounds in Queensland. To find out more about today's Zoom TV live events, go to zoomtv.com.au and don't forget, if you have an event, we'd love to hear from you. Up next, I catch up with 3 inspiring leaders who attended the Vinnie's CEO Sleepout. That's next on Zoom TV. There are 10,000 people homeless in WA, believe it or not. It's a true number. So what we thought we'd do is jump on board the Vinnie CEO Sleepout, take part in it and raise some much needed funds for people that are homeless. And I've stumbled across a few people that have been part of the show throughout the year. This man here to my right who kindly lent us his sleeping bag. You're a beautiful man.
Oh, thanks, Aaron. How you going, mate?
I'm good. Unfortunately, it's very wet tonight.
It is very wet, mate, but look, the HIA have been strong advocates for housing affordability, and it's really important to get behind a really important cause like the CEO Sleepout, raising money for St Vinnie's and homeless in Western Australia. So it's a great cause.
I've got to tell you, mate, well done. Your first one, like
Thanks,
me,
mate.
We're having a great night. Someone else, John Wood from National Lifestyle Villages. You can wake John Wood from National.
He's asleep.
Some people get in character like this man has. Mate, you've jumped on board, you're involved in the top 10 fundraiser. You've got to be happy with that.
Yeah, it was only because I said to all the people that live in our villages who are lucky enough to have a home and a secure place, that if I donned the old Woody outfit, that might encourage them to raise a bit more money, and it worked out good. So this is my 3rd time, and luckily tonight it's not quite so cold, a little bit of rain, but it's a very worthwhile night.
There was one man who finished as number 1 for the 4th year in a row. Can you wake him up for me?
Wake him up. Barry.
How are you, Barry?
Good, mate. Good.
Congratulations, 4 years in a row. You as CEO of Crown. What's the secret?
The secret is to get a good address list and write to everyone and be very aggressive. Don't take no for an answer. So keep pushing, and you'll get the money.
I tried that, I did. I kept calling my mother, but she never rang me back once.
She gave me some money, so...
I bet she did. Now, Barry, you don't just write a cheque. You get out there and you have to fundraise yourself, and then ultimately you've got to attend for the night, and, well, you've got to put the hard yards in and be with me and everybody else out there in the wet.
I think the key difference is I've got a bed to go home to after this, and I do this one night a year. So, you would never compare yourself to a homeless person, but it's about trying to raise money so they can actually get a better life, and that's what Vinnies do.
Guys, you 3 were 3 random people that I happened to choose that I thought were going to be kind enough to share a sleeping bag with me. But there's over 100 CEOs here tonight taking part, raising money. Over 1,000 CEOs around Australia all deserve a pat on the back because you are investing, importantly, your time. Barry, you've done the experience since it started, so you've done it 6 times. Is it an experience that you just keep looking forward to, that other people should just jump on board?
No, you do. I mean, you should jump on board. If you've got a chance to do it, jump on board. But like I said, it's about raising money. You've got to raise money for Vinnies, and you've got to get aware of what's going on out there. They're the 2 key lessons.
Are we going to have a fun night?
Yeah, absolutely.
John sounds charged.
Just donate to Woody. Barry's raised enough money.
There you go, Barry. Now, if you want to get involved, all you've got to do is go to vinnies.org.au. I'll tell you what, guys, who's going to get up and get the hot chocolate? Don't mess the hair, John.
I'm no expert, but I do know there are a lot of products on the market these days that increase the power and performance of your vehicle. The question is, which one is the most efficient? Well, today, with the help of Ken Ringrose from United Fuel Injection, I'm going to find out. So Ken, how would someone like me increase the power and, well, overall performance of my car?
Well, Kate, what we offer these days is to remap the ECU on your vehicle instead of the old-fashioned piggyback chip method. So we can improve your power, fuel economy and performance of your vehicle.
Okay, so just dumb it down for me. What exactly is remapping an ECU? What's an ECU?
Okay, so the ECU is the electronic control unit. That is the brain of the vehicle. We go into that and we reprogram it according to your driving needs. Whether you tow a caravan, a tradies ute, or go four-wheel driving, for example, or even the family sedan. We can then set it up according to your driving needs so that you get better performance, better drivability.
So basically you're tailoring the ECU to the individual.
Exactly, we can set up to exactly to your driving requirements, but it's not only driving, Kate. We can also do marine, agriculture, and road haulage, where we can set ECUs up on those types of engines as well.
So basically anything with an engine?
Anything with an electronically controlled engine, that's correct, yes.
Okay, right. Well, thank you very much for your time today, Ken. I do know a lot more about ECUs, and that is that they exist, so I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
And if you want to ensure you get the best performance out of your vehicle, jump onto unitedfuel.com.au.
Whether you're searching for a top quality new or pre-owned vehicle or a factory service with genuine Toyota parts, then City Toyota is your best option. Why? Because they're one of the most awarded Toyota dealers in Australia. And as a 5-star customer service dealership, you can be sure the helpful and professional team at City Toyota will always find the right car for you at the right price with the best possible service. To find out more, go to citytoyota.net.au. More than 100 CEOs put in their time and effort to raise money for the Vinnie's CEO Sleepout. After the break, I catch up with the CEO who managed to raise the most amount of money for this terrific cause. That's up next on Zoom TV. Welcome back to Zoom TV. We're still here at the CEO Sleepout at the Wacker. It's a cold night and I'm joined by this week's celebrity hitchhiker, Barry Felstead from the Crown Casino. Now, Barry, you head up Perth and Melbourne.
Perth and Melbourne, yep. Keeps you busy.
Okay, now you've been taking part of this event. It's my first event. I'm feeling a little bit underprepared. It is a chilly night here in Perth.
It's a bit cool.
You head up one of the most well-known and one of the largest employers of Australians in the country.
Yep, it's certainly up there. We've got about 6,000 people in Perth and about close to 9,000 in Melbourne, so a lot of people.
Perth has gone under major construction and you've done it so efficiently and so smoothly.
Look, what it is, we were lucky enough to purchase, was in Burswood back in 2004. We spent a lot of money redoing it. I'll give you an example. We had 9 restaurants and bars back in 2004. We've got 31 now.
Wow.
So that's how much the property's changed.
And focusing a little bit on Melbourne, you just totally redid the landscape through South Bank there.
Yeah, it made a big difference. I started there back in '94. That was my first gig with Crown, and it's come a long, long way. It really has. It was a very destitute area. Now it's come a long way. Very happy with that.
A quick question for people at home: if they wanted to follow in a career such as yourself, what would be some of the tips you would give someone coming through uni or just working in the job they're in now to actually get to be a leader such as yourself?
Look, I was pretty lucky. I was very much in right place at right time, and I was prepared to move sideways. So I think a lot of people want to go straight up. If you can move sideways, sometimes that's the smartest move to make. Okay. And just work hard.
How did you get involved with the CEO Sleepout?
Okay, well, Crown was a long-term supporter of Vinnie's, and when it first came up in Western Australia 6 years ago, they said, do I want to get involved? I said, absolutely, and raised a bit of money, and I sort of fell in love with it. It's been a bit of a passion of mine since, and it's been good. 6 years running, and I hope to do it for another 6 years.
Now, Barry, I don't know if you've noticed, but as I drive around the streets, especially in Perth, I see a lot of homeless people out there.
Yeah, and from our perspective, it's about 2 things, raising money and raising awareness. In Western Australia, certainly in Perth, there's about 10,000 people sleep rough, and it's not just people sleeping on the street, it's people sleeping on other people's couches, in cars. There's a whole bunch of people out there, and they're the forgotten people of our society, and I think, as people with responsibility, you need to do something about that. And if you can raise money, you can help Vinnie's, and they can put courses in place for people, they can help get people off the streets, and it makes us more aware as CEOs and just members of the community what some people go through. Okay. It's not easy.
Now, on with the Fast Five. You ready for that?
Perfect.
Okay, now, what was your first car you ever owned?
Had a Volkswagen. It was a Volkswagen Fastback. I paid $400 for it.
Bet you wish you had it now.
I bet I did too. It lasted about 8 months.
What is your opinion of the worst car on the road ever?
Probably a car that I owned. It was a Nissan Bluebird, and it wasn't a good car.
I don't think they were that bad.
It rusted out, everything broke down, and it was a shocker.
You would see some pretty special cars in the job you do. What would be your opinion of the car that you want? You go, I want that car.
I want a Nissan GTR.
Really?
Absolutely. Fantastic car. Awesome car.
I raced Ross Duncan around a track. He actually cheated a little bit, but he only just beat me, but they're a fast car.
They're awesome cars.
Now, what car do you currently drive?
Okay, I've got a,
Here comes the big one.
I drive a 3-year-old Peugeot.
Oh, there you go. I was expecting something bigger, more family orientated.
No, 3-year-old Peugeot.
And the big one, what is your biggest fear?
Well, not traditional things, but I'm probably the thing I'm not a big fan of is grasshoppers. Never liked them.
Okay, I'll tell you what, if I see one grasshopper tonight, I'll be your grasshopper protector.
You're a good man.
Mate, thank you very much.
Pleasure.
And thank you very much for everything that you guys do for the community.
Thank you very much.
Now, I would love to be wishing you a good morning, but the truth is it's not. Over here in Perth, it's cold, it's wet, it's windy, and I was woken up this morning by ground staff here at the Wacker, and it wasn't a very pleasant night, I got to tell you. I'm lucky if I had maybe 2 hours sleep. It was one of the hardest things I've ever had to take part in, and it was definitely one of the best experiences I've been involved with. I'd like to thank Vinnie's for inviting us along to the event. You got to bear with me, I tell you what, it's really hard to function when you haven't had much sleep. And that's the great thing about the event, you actually get to experience what almost 100,000 Australians have to go through each and every day, which is just, that statistic itself is just so hard to think that we have people out there suffering and they don't have to. All you've got to do is jump onto the Vinnie's website and get involved in next year's CEO Sleep Out and make a difference. Go to vinnies.org.au, and if you can do with any help at all, make sure you go there and they might be able to give you some assistance. Now, if you're a part of a charity and you've got an event coming up, we want to help you. All you've got to do is go to our website, click on the events page, tell us about the event, when it's going to happen, maybe give us some pictures and videos, and we'll definitely give it a plug. Now, before we go, because the show's come to an end, we'd like to thank our premium partners that supported us while we took part in the experience. Until next week, bye for now, and remember, whatever you do that Zooms, make sure you do it safe. And if you are going to take part of one of these events, make sure you come prepared. Bring a sleeping bag, or you'll learn the hard way. And that's a wrap.